Hips, development, and concerns. Now, first of all, I'm going to go right to the hips. I think they need to be evaluated. I know you're getting progression. See, what you don't understand, when a child's not progressing, it's not just due to cognitive. In this case, I really believe it's structural. They need to be looked at properly. And I'm not talking about, this is standard hip examination. They're going to do something like this and look for flexibility, right? It's not about that. You should not see a baby go where they can do a 90-degree. You couldn't do this if you tried. 90-degree angle. So I would like to have them checked out properly. I'm not a doctor. I'm a movement specialist. But if there's any way you can talk someone into an x-ray, not an ultrasound, an x-ray to see that the structure is good for that. Second of all, when I mentioned not going from sitting into all fours, the quality is not there. I get it that she's going from sitting to all fours, but what you're seeing is that I don't want to fall. That caution that's coming here. It's not like they just go whoop, do. And I can show you a video on that if you look at my crawling and stuff, the webinars and everything that I've done on that, you can see that quality. It should just be there and that. And so when she's in a position for too long, this starts to happen, almost like you're watching, like a tire deflate. And those hips give out. You're holding her structure. Please, 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 no pulling to standing. Pulling to standing is not a milestone. Again, I'm not worried about her development. I know she socially wants to go there, but she's learning that if someone pulls me up, I can stand, but she's not learning to go into standing where I can push up into standing. It's a completely different, and two, when you're telling doctors, oh yeah, my daughter's pulling up into standing, they look at that as a milestone and they're going to say, yep, she's right on track. You're going to say she's crawling. Yep, she's right on track, right? But she's not. She's coming out of position, right? And especially through the hips. And so another thing is too, when she is in all fours, you should see this nice visual crossing midline versus she's here, she can't see you, and then she has to yank her head back to look up. Right? But because she's can't do this, and this is where again, the tummy time and those kind of milestones were not optimal, and she was more here probably in tummy time and couldn't, and everybody's looking for a head lift versus the pelvis coming down and bringing that spine into play. So it's just those combinations of really just missing those milestones and going into that. Now, visual midlines, you can do something very nice. Sorry, I'm just looking for something. You can be at the dinner table, and just what you're looking for is just see how right here I'm getting your eyes just across the midline. Just across the midline. You're looking for this kind of midline crossing and this kind of midline crossing. Right, but because she didn't come to sitting through her back, and that going into all fours, there's a really hard midline that she's sort of stuck in, but she's using that midline because if she's a midline, the hips are the most stable. The second she weight transfers or goes out of what she considers that midline area, she's going down, right? And so, she can get away with it right now because she's a baby. You get her a little bit bigger, and we don't want, if I asked you to stand up and say, just fall down on your bum, you'll be like, I'm not doing that because it hurts, so right now she's little and stuff like that, but please, it's coming up, and again, where she's coming up into standing, you should see again that nice visual midline versus, when they grab on and they do all that, right, you lose the vision. I'm not worried about cognitive delays. What I'm worried about is that she's got physical structure, and that's causing the delays there. So she's got to be very cautious around where she can place that body, that she's not going to go down. Right? Falling is not a milestone yet until child's just about getting in and out of standing, where they come down, they squat down, and they'll come down on their bum. That's more of a fall, and it's through the vestibular, and they do it through like a squat fall. But this where she's just coming out of it, I have concerns. So you want to work with the pubic bone strike, going in and out of crawling in the fast start, the all fours into crawling, because you want her to be able to come from sitting in, again, crossing midline, not coming over here, kind of putting her hands down, making sure her feet are in position, and you'll see, again, a crawl shouldn't look like this with the hands or like a stop. You know, it should be just this nice little, almost like they're swimming. Again, I'm just looking for optimal. I'm not here to pick on things, but I'm just worried that because of the way that you're presenting, that she's gone into standing, she's crawling. No one's going to take you seriously as far as, you know, and I don't want her falling through the cracks. You know, you ask the doctor when you're showing her those hips or showing her or just a video of just her where their hips are out on 90-degree angles. That's a concern for me. And that, you know, again, what can be done about it? Hip helpers, you know, the huggy little, but again, I'm not offering any kind of structure until we know what's up if there is a problem. But I don't like that she's coming out on a 90-degree angle and she's preventing movement because she knows if she's just off just a little bit through the center, she's going down. And so she's very smart, and that she's really finagling her body in such a way. But that's where I have concerns with her development just not being optimal, and it's more structured based than it is. And she shouldn't, at this age, they're too young to go, wow, my hips just aren't working great. How do I work around that? I have to do that, but I'm 60. It shouldn't be happening for a munchkin. Thanks.